Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemistry CC for you. So it's been a long time that I have not uploaded a video. Since your CUSET examination is here, let's start with the CUSET final preparation strategies. In this video, I am trying to give you a brief account of what are asked from each of the part, like in organic chemistry from each of the chapters, what are the things that you should not forget, and how to attend the questions. I have already said how to attend the questions in many of the previous video, so I won't go much into that, but still I'll mention a few points regarding that, and even how to revise, or the revision strategies also will be discussed. So before I begin, I want to tell you that if you have completed the whole portions, it's good enough. But what I'm going to discuss from each of these parts are something that are always asked, that you should just try to go through these topics before your examination. So let's begin. So the first, from inorganic chemistry, the main thing is we have to discuss about the valence bond theory, VSEPR theory, then shapes and hybridization, and the MO theory, that is the molecular orbital theory. So in valence bond theory and VSEPR theory, the shape, hybridization, etc. are a part of these two theories. And in MO theory, in the molecular orbital theory, the major things that come is the bond order, and also you can get the concept of paramagnetism and diamagnetic from that. Like if the electron is half filled, it will be a paramagnetic species, and if it is fully filled, that is if there are two electrons in the molecular orbital theory, then you have the uh, diamagnetic effect. And also I have made videos for all these parts, and I'll be giving the link of all the necessary videos in the description box below. It will be very helpful for you. Try to cover all those things, because you have enough time. 10 days are more than enough to cover all these topics. So I'll give all the links in the description box. Please watch as many as possible. I'm 100% sure it's going to be helpful for you in the examination. Last year many questions came directly from the part that we have discussed. So if you want, you can ask any of the previous year students. They have messaged me that many of the questions that we have discussed in our videos were directly asked in the video, so I mean the examination. So please try to watch all those videos. Next, in the coordination compounds part, we want to know like different ligands, and which are divalent, which are monovalent, etc. Like EDTA, what is the how what kind of ligand it is, and through which all atoms can it bond, all those things. Then effective atomic number rule, that is the 18 electron. If the 18 electrons are complete, it will be stable. That complex will be stable, and if not, it will not be stable. So those kinds of concepts. Then in transition metal complex, the major thing that you have to remember is the crystal field stabilization. I mean CFS it is. I have written it wrong. So crystal field stabilization energy. Then about metal carbonyls. And in metal carbonyls, apart metal carbonyls, the major thing is you have to understand the shapes of major metal carbonyls, like FeCO5, on all those things. You need to know the shapes, and if and also their carbonyls where there are like Fe2 or CO2, CO8, those kinds of metal carbonyls where you have metal bonds, and also bridge carbonyls. All those concepts that you have to remember. And also d orbital splitting, which is a very important topic. D orbital splitting, the major thing is you need to understand the square planar as well as the tetrahedral complexes. Then about ferrocene, just go through what this ferrocene is and how much is the electrons, what are the electrons, total number of electrons in this, and how it is bonded, all those things. This will take less than 10 minutes to read all these things. Then magnetic properties, major thing is spin only formula. Then concept of paramagnetism and diamagnetism. It is I think most of you are aware about this part already. If not, you still have time to prepare. Then S, P, D, and F block. As I have said, in S block, P block, D block, and F block, the main thing is that you cannot study the whole thing. So what you have to do is try to go through the previous questions that we have discussed. Many of the concepts in these chapters are discussed through those questions. So you could go through that questions to complete these parts, the S, P, and D. And for F block, I'll try to make a video on the actinides and lanthanides in the coming days. Like in 2-3 days, I'll upload a video on the actinides and lanthanides. I think it's going to be really helpful for you. Then next topic is the periodic properties trends. Like across the group and across the period how the various properties changes, whether it is increasing or whether it is decreasing. That is also very easy to memorize, which but it can guarantee you a lot of marks. So that is the periodic properties trends. Then in nuclear chemistry, you don't no need to go into very deeply into this topic, but just try to understand the alpha beta decay. So if alpha particles are released emitted and beta particles are emitted, what is the change in the atomic number and atomic mass? That is the thing that we need to understand in the nuclear chemistry part. Just that, because I have gone through so many question paper, and mostly they have asked question from only this these parts, and I we can never say whether something would be asked out of the box, like different from last few years. But if the pattern remains the same, this is the only thing that you have to remember from the nuclear chemistry part. Then next question, I mean the next part is the bioinorganic chemistry. So in that, I would not ask you to read the whole thing. Like bioinorganic chemistry, in the last few days you need not go and study everything, but what you can do is you can just memorize what are the metal centers of major biomolecules. So for example, like cobalamin, if you remember, you have cobalt in the center, or if you have hemoglobin, it have iron in the center. So these things and their functions, whether they are oxygen carriers, electron transport is their property, or their storage of something. So this is what we mean by the functions. So these are the things mainly what you have to remember from the part of inorganic chemistry. Shapes and hybridization, molecular orbital theory, which is mainly the bond order and all those things. Then coordination complex regarding the ligands, 18 electron rule. Then CFSE, also metal carbonyls, then ferrocene, spin only formula, SPD and F block, periodic trends, alpha beta emission, as well as major metal centers from bioorganic chemistry. These things you have to study. If you have enough time, you can read all the other portions, but I suggest you should definitely read these portions, because these are repeatedly asked and important in the examination point of view. So apart from this environmental chemistry, you will have only 1 or 2 marks question. It doesn't matter. You don't really have to spend so much time for them. Again, you can go through the previous year questions or the questions we have discussed to just cover this part. That would be more than enough for the environmental chemistry part. Next, let's come to physical chemistry. So first of all, in physical chemistry, one of the major topic is the chemical kinetics. So in chemical kinetics, main equations of rate, that is for various first order, second order reaction and zero order reaction. What are the major rate equations and the relation, like K is equal to what, and all those things. And also the half time, these things, half life time. So half life time, how to calculate that, those things you have to memorize in the chemical kinetics. Then also Arrhenius equation and radioactive decay. Also the rate and equilibrium constant, rate constant and equilibrium constant reaction relation. That mainly in physical chemistry, what you have to do is you need to study the formulas, because problems are asked from this part. Conceptual questions are also there very few times, but mostly problems are asked from this part. And if you know the equations, you are safe and you are going to get guaranteed marks in this part of physical chemistry. So main equations of rate equations, main rate equations, Arrhenius equation, and also rate and equilibrium constant relation. That is the first thing. Then in thermodynamics, you have a lot to cover, but these are very easy to cover. First, the three laws, first law, second law, and third law of thermodynamics. That is just the equation would be enough. Then Hess law, Kirchhoff law, and also work, heat absorbed, etc. in the expansion of ideal gases under isothermal and adiabatic conditions for reversible process. Then Carnot theorem, the concept of entropy, Nernst equation, and free energy equations. So these all seem to be really large, but in both this chemical kinetics as well as in thermodynamics, I have covered all the major equations, and I'll put the link of those videos in the description box. Please watch those. It will be really, really helpful for you. You can cover all the equations within 10 or 15 minutes using these videos, because I always believe in learning things in the shortest time. I not going on blabbering about these things. In examination point of view, you have to learn things quickly and effectively. So we have made videos using that vision, and so that is going to be helpful for you in the examination. So next, in the solutions part, you have mainly the colligative properties. Raoult's law, it's okay, but mainly you have to think about the colligative property like elevation of boiling point, depression of melting point, and osmotic pressure. If you cover those, you are good to go. And in the equilibrium portion, equilibrium constant and free energy, that is the delta G value according to the equilibrium constant, that would be good to go uh, for the time being. That is something that you have to remember is these things. You can read everything else. Once again, I'm telling you, I am not asking you to read just these things. These things you cannot omit. You have to study everything, but these are the things that you cannot omit in the examination. Next, electrochemistry, conductance, electrochemistry. So we have conductance, Kohlrausch law, and dissociation constants of acid, and degree of dissociation. So alpha and Ka, that is the dissociation constant of acid Ka, and the degree of dissociation alpha. Then Kohlrausch law, that is the dilution at infinite dilution, how we calculate the conductance of the value of conductance of a strong electrolyte, and also solubility product. These are the major concepts in the electrochemistry. And also apart from that, you also need Nernst equation and Faraday's law. These are all mainly equations, and if you know one, you can connect and write the equation, the other equations. Main thing is basically you need to know the symbols of all these things, like what is this Faraday, how to express the number of electrons, or what are the charges and the oxidation states in the equations. These are the major things. And potential, what is the potential, all this. In quantum chemistry, eigenvalue and eigenfunctions meaning, that is, sometimes the question are asked from that, but de Broglie wavelength, one question is almost sure. And also the basic energy equations, like the relation between energy and frequency, and also the Rydberg constant, all these things comes in the basic energy equations, and also particle in one dimensional box. So mainly the question in quantum chemistry is based upon the particle in one dimensional box, where you will be given the energy of a particular energy level, and you might be asked to calculate either the degeneracy, or you have to calculate the energy in some other level. So this is very simple. Just you need to have one equation and you are done with that. So in quantum chemistry, I believe a question will come from the particle in one dimensional box, and if you know that, you are good to go in this part also. Next, this is my favorite topic, spectroscopy. So in that, force constant is the main thing, and also selection rules. Like for Raman spectra, actually you have different types of lines, different badges, P, Q, R, etc. So you need to know the selection rules of all these things. And also in NMR spectroscopy, you have a few equations from that part. That is also very simple. You can just go through it once and done. Finally, group theory, I would suggest you to just memorize the symmetry elements of C2V and C3V point groups. Rest, let it be there, but mostly the questions would come from C2V point group, even if it comes. So then if you know the group theory symmetry element, you are good to go in this part. Next comes our major and most important and exciting part of the examination, organic chemistry. So in organic chemistry, first thing is the inductive effect, resonance effect, and hyperconjugation basic concepts. So what they'll ask is, they'll be asking you to give the basicity order or the acidity order of some complexes, mainly some substituted benzene compounds. They'll be giving you some substituted benzene compounds, and you will be asked to give the basicity trends or the reactivity trends. So in those cases, the concept that you have to apply is inductive effect, resonance effect, and hyperconjugation. If you know these things, your answer would be correct. There is no question in that. Your answer will be correct. So the thing is, you need to know about inductive effect, resonance effect, and hyperconjugation. Next, reaction intermediates. There will be stability of carbocation, carbanion, and radicals, which means like tertiary carbocation, whether it is more stable than the secondary or primary methyl carbocation. So this is the major thing. Like reaction intermediates, how their stability changes. That is one important thing that you have to remember in the organic chemistry part. Then ring strains, like stability of the conformers. For example, in cyclohexane, how the conformation between how the stability in the conformation of boat and chair changes. It's a very important thing, but one or two questions only can be asked from this part. But if you know that concept, you can really attend some reaction questions also. That is the thing. So stability of conformers and ring strains in cycloalkenes. Then some really exciting and easy to get marks. It is Huckel's rule and aromaticity concept. So if you have 4n plus 2, you have to see whether the compound is planar and has a conjugated bond. And if it has 4n plus 2, in such a system, if there are 4n plus 2 pi electrons, it will be aromatic. Only 4n pi electrons, it will be anti-aromatic. And if there is some sp3, if at least one sp3 uh, atom is there, without which it is aromatic, such a system is called homoaromatic. So you have to carefully look at the system and you will get this answer. So aromatic concept and Huckel's rule. One question would be asked from this part. Then next is the major name reactions, including oxidizing agent, reducing agents, and other reagent chemistry. I cannot give you examples from this part, like you have to study only this and this name reactions. But what I have already done is I have made videos on most of the name reactions which are asked in the MSc entrances and MSc and BSc entrances. For CSIR net, you need to study lot more name reactions, but the major name reactions which are asked in MSc, BSc and 12th standard level examination, I have covered all of them. I have covered more than 40 reactions, name reactions, including reducing agent, oxidizing agent and other reagent chemistry. So I will be posting the link in the description box below. Watch all those videos. You will be thorough with the name reactions part if you cover all those videos. I'm very sure about that. You will be able to attend all the questions from the name reactions part if you have uh, covered all those topics. Next, stereochemistry, mainly RNS or nomenclature will be asked. And also, when we talk about stereochemistry, you need to know like SN1, SN2 reaction, E1CB mechanism, etc. What will be the conformation of the product? The product conformation, whether the inversion of configuration occurs or the retention of configuration occurs, that will be one important concept that you have to remember from the stereochemistry part. Then photochemistry, I have already covered specifically for the according to the CUSET syllabus. I have already covered one video. Mainly they ask about Norrish type 1 and Norrish type 2 reaction, and it is not very sure whether the question will be coming from photochemistry or not. It is like it may come or it may not come. It is something like that. But this thing is really important, like biomolecules and polymers. In that you have to study vitamins and terpenes, nucleic acids, and also proteins. So here in I have already covered the secondary structures of nucleic acid. Sorry, I have some spelling mistake here. Nucleic acids and protein secondary structures. Also terpene concept I have discussed in one of the previous videos, like how many you have to understand, like monoterpenes, diterpenes, etc., how to distinguish between them. And also vitamins, the alternate names and what are the major functions, all these things have been discussed. And polymers also I have done a video, not one video, actually I have done multiple videos covering these topics. Again, I'll be giving all the links in the description box below. Watch as many as possible. It will not do any harm. Instead, it will be really helpful for you. So this is the first part of our video. These are the topics from inorganic, physical, and organic chemistry that you cannot miss. You have to read these topics, and uh, even if as I said, I have told you one or two concepts from every topic. It's not like I'm asking you to read the whole chapter or something, but the important concepts I have discussed here, and you have to read at least those concepts to go before you go attend the examination. That's all. Like I'm not asking you to read the whole topic in the last few days of the exam, but instead at least cover these topics for the examination. Next, this is the revision strategy that I'm going to discuss. The first thing is go through the formulas, all the formulas from the physical chemistry portions. You can, if you already have written, I think most of you might have written down the topics. So yes, then previous questions, I have done around 11 videos covering the previous questions, and one super preparation series where most of the formulas and previous questions are discussed. So you have to go through the previous questions in the last few days. Next, about the points written. So I believe that most of you, while reading and preparing for this examination, might have written some points like important notes that you have to remember. It can either be about the common mistakes that you make when you are attending the question, or it may be about the exceptions in certain topics, like for example, if you have a trend in the melting point across the group, there will be sometimes there will be one element which do not follows that trend. So you might have written a point about those exceptions. That is one thing that you have to do. You have to read and go through all the exceptions and the points that you have understood about your grasp of the examination in the time during the time of this preparation. Second, the next thing is about trends. The trends in the trends as in as I said, in periodic trends, or in basicity, acidity, order in organic chemistry, or in the spectroscopy, organic spectroscopy. uh, um, okay, sorry for, so I have actually skipped the organic spectroscopy part. In organic spectroscopy, the important portion that you have to do is the IR spectroscopy, the regions of various spectra, like 1700, you have around 1700 centimeter per centimeter, you have the band of carbonyl compound. So those things you have to remember. Organic spectroscopy, I skipped it, but you don't. You have to read that portion as well. So yes, so I was talking about the trends in the topics, like as I said, melting point, boiling point, all those you have to read about the trends. Next, in the last few days, some things that you can learn is like biomolecules, like vitamins, chemistry in daily life, polymers, all these things you can do. And part A, you can just have a quick review in the English and mathematics part. You need not spend so much time in this. You can do this in the last 2-3 days. These things you can cover in the last 2-3 days, but instead in the in before all those in the first few days. Now I think you have 10 days for the examination. For the next 7 days, try to cover all the formulas, the topics that I have mentioned in the previous slides, like from inorganic, organic, and physical, what you should read, cover those topics, go through the previous question, read the points and also the trends, and also finally just go through part A, English and mathematics quick review, also biomolecules, chemistry in daily life, and topics like that. You just go through topics like that along with S and P block elements. Those are the things that you can do in the final days of the examination, the preparation strategies. Now, on the examination day, what you have to do is read all the questions. Sometimes what happens is, just when you see the question, you'll think that you don't know this answer, but you might know this answer once you read the question carefully. So read all the questions. Don't be pre-assumptions that this is something I don't know. You should read all the questions. And if you don't know, it's fine, but you should not skip the question. You have to read all the questions. Second thing on the examination day is spend at least 20 minutes for part A. This is my suggestion. You may or may not take it, but I suggest that you have to spend at least 20 minutes for part A, because in part A, sometimes you can easily score 5 marks minimum. 5 marks can be scored, and it would be a major boost to your total score. Always for average students, this 5 marks will be really helpful in their final results. So spend at least 20 minutes for part A, so that you can read the question and try to answer them. You can make it 15 or 10, but do read that part also. You can get some marks from that point. Next, then they use the strategy of eliminating options. So the thing is, sometimes what happens is, you might not really know the exact answer of the question. You might, out of the 4 options, you don't know exact answer. But what you can do is, you might know that, so for example, you have A, B, C, and D, and you know that D is not the answer and C is also not the answer. So you're actually eliminating 2 options from that. Now you have to make a choice between A and B only. So this strategy will be very helpful on the day of examination. Use the strategy of eliminating options. Always try to eliminate the options once you are not very sure about the answers. Then do not forget the negative mark. So maybe sometimes what happens is, you feel that the examination is really easy, and you might have answered majority of the questions, and you feel that I should answer these questions also, and the questions that you're confused, you will be answering them also by forgetting about the negative marks, which you should not do, because it is going to sabotage your scores. You have to be very aware about the negative mark. It's not that you have to skip questions, but still you should always remember that you do have a negative mark in the examination. So I should be careful while answering the question. I should not reduce my overall marks because I am making too many negatives in the examination. Okay. And finally, what happens? Above all, you have to be confident while writing the examination. You have prepared enough. You will be really, really good in the examination, and so you have all the right to be confident in attending the questions. So these are my final preparation strategies for all of you. And if you need any more strategies or any more videos, please ask me in the comment box below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And also, please watch all the videos that I'm going to give in the description box below. You can watch the previous the videos in which we have discussed the previous questions also, but spend more time in watching the conceptual videos where I have discussed the shortcuts and important formulas of physical chemistry and name reactions in organic chemistry. I would suggest you to spend a little time in watching those videos, because in 10 or 15 minutes I have summed up all the chapters in those videos. It would help you, and it can guarantee you some marks in the examination. So that's all for today in this video. Prepare really well. As I said, you can ask me anything in the comment section below. I can help you regarding the examination. Thank you so much. Hopefully you'll all qualify your examination this year. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, everyone. Be tension free and prepare well.